10 Şubat 2006 Can'ın prezentasyonu öncesindeyiz. Hazırlığı çekiyoruz şu anda salonda. 3 kişi oturmuş vaziyette bekliyorlar. Can da hazır. Elinde mikrofon var. Allah yardımcısı olsun. Geçenler arkadaşı avukatı Augustin. Hala hazırlıkları yerlerde. Resepsiyonun önü bir aylık kalabalık.
Carpet. The Turkish Carpet Handmade Seminar. I'm going to do a show for you this morning. Welcome to my Turkish Cafe. Normally this is known as the Java Cafe, but this morning we're going to call it your Turkish Cafe. Come on around, sit in the front seats if you would. It is the best view that you have to take a look at the carpets. Please get ready with your bare feet. You're going to be able to walk on these carpets and get yourself some toe therapy. All right, so just in a couple of minutes, we'll get started. And until then, relax, sit back, and enjoy the coffee of the Java Cafe. Thank you, everyone. Yes, there, the enthusiastic. Oh, sit down. Come on up front. Come on up here if you guys are sitting back there and you want to see the carpets. The carpets are now, I've put out several different types of carpets, designs, colors, so that you can get an idea of the inventory that's here on board. My name is John, and I am your carpet consultant. I also have an associate here. His name is Mr. Aydin. He and I are your carpet consultants right from the Mediterranean. We're bringing you today carpets from Turkey and around the world. And if you would, we have a quick short video that I'd like to have you to give you an introduction to the world of handmade carpets. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll continue on in just a few minutes.
The old Ibrahim Pasha Palace of the 16th century is today's Islamic Arts Museum with some of the world's best kept 16th century Uşak carpets, the bird design on them, as well as the medallion, the prayers each defined, are some of those most valuable carpets we have in this section. Especially the red is out of another root and blue is out of the indigo plant. These are some Selçuk carpets dating back to 1221, so they're almost coming to be 800 years old very soon. They're from Konya, indicated by mosque and mausoleum, being kept in this museum for the beautiful Cupid borderline on the Arabic state. And Lorenzo Lotto design in the century on this old Uşak is the result of the painter's work, Lorenzo Lotto, the Italian painter, as well as Hans Holbein, German, all very famous in the 16th century painting. The first Turkish carpet ever made in central Anatolia, coming from Asia Minor, 2,300 years old, is Pazarı carpet with the hunting design, a brand new example of hunters and Arabic designs. And now the art of Turkish carpentry has come to our times. Girls using these looms in the way they make their carpets. They also make killings. Killings are open, while ones are not. That is the easiest differentiation between those with a tile and those without a tile. Killings of the carpet, which this lady is time. In 1451, the whole prayer finals. From here, when each line is finished, you will move down with your iron comb, and then you will be ready to trim the excess pile when each line is finished. And then a small pencil carpet will be finished, which will take approximately a year and a half to finish. And that is a heritage, the finest pure silk work in the world, F.Sticha modality. One must be born talented in order to be able to make these rugs in this style, and that is the excess material. In the vicinity, we have beautiful peach trees blooming while the lady is getting ready to show us how the pure silk fiber is obtained from natural fabric. Using a very interesting sponge, boiling water, and she works real fast, getting all the fibers out of these cocoons, and she will soon be tying to the nearest machine, which will be pulling these fibers out one after the other to show us how the pure silk fiber is obtained. Imagine when you pull out the fibers of one cocoon in a good quality, you will have 1 mile long threads. And those are the fencing cocoons. Along this roadside, where this truck is carrying Turkish-made leather cars, this town is also making carpets. It is not ideal to buy carpets off the road unless you're an expert. This is the paper in the Ajida outside.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is John, and I am your handmade carpet consultant here on board the beautiful Jewel. Now, let me first introduce this program. This is a brand new program we are trying to create here. This is my Turkish cafe. Mr. Augustine is your server in the back. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice cup of coffee as I go through the next few minutes talking about carpets, handmade carpets. It's really why I'm here on board, and it's never been done in the Caribbean before. Now, we've been able to do this in the Mediterranean, and we're now bringing it to you in the Caribbean, hopefully, so that you can enjoy the beauty of handmade carpets right here in the Caribbean without traveling all the way to the Mediterranean. As a matter of fact, it can save you the cost of the vacation by buying the carpet here. Now, it's really quite unique, and I have a chance here to do a quick slide presentation. You know where this picture was taken by chance? You ever been to Turkey? Ephesus, the great library of Ephesus. That's very good, correct. And I was standing outside. It's really quite an amazing thing when you start at the south end, walk your way down, and come upon the library. Turkey has history, so for so many years, thousands and thousands of years. Of course, as a U.S. citizen, I'm honored that I'm here as a representative for this handmade carpet show. So moving on, we'll talk about Turkey. These carpets do come out of Kuşadası with one of our manufacturers, distributors, known as Matisse Lapis. It's a great opportunity for you to find top quality carpets right here in the Caribbean coming to you. And I wanted to talk about carpets because in the presentation you notice that they talk about carpets and not rugs. Now we know carpets as faux rugs when they're handmade. But it's a big difference between a rug and a carpet. And the big thing is that rugs are usually machined and carpets are handmade. Now, if you take a look at the carpets that are around the atrium, and they spend, a significant amount of time making the decor of this atrium. It's really quite unique, though, that these carpets that you see, the purple and the blue, these are machine carpets. And unlike handmade carpets, their value with the high traffic that they're going to have is going to last maybe 3, maybe 5 years. That's a big difference between machine carpets and handmade carpets. Handmade carpets are what we use the term knotted. Knotted is very significant because this is how the differences are with quality. Machine carpets are glued, and I'll go into that in a little bit, but knotting is really what's significant about making a handmade carpet. Now, continuing on, we're talking about knots, and you're going to see here that this is one of the finest quality carpets that's out there. There is over, this is a Hurricane silk rug and approximately 4,360 knots per square inch. That's a significant number of double knots per square inch of very top quality carpet that's going to come your way. And this is a picture of one of these carpets here that just is a beautiful medallion carpet coming your way. Again, it's the larger picture of that carpet that I showed you for the knots, the 4,360 knots, and it's quite significant, quite beautiful in a room. Moving on again, we're going to see that this carpet here, in the Yildiz Palace here, we're going to see that this is one of the largest carpets that's ever been put in the world. It is approximately the size of the atrium right here, about 5,000 square feet. An enormous carpet that was put together in this room, and you can see a copy of the actual print to the left and the room on the right. Now, this is the oldest carpet to date. This is over 3,000 years old. This is in a private collection. And I just wanted to show you that these carpets, being handmade, are quite the value. There's an exceptional amount of quality put into these carpets. And really, time is something that you're going to find that these carpets will last through. Time is not your quotient. Making the carpet is significant because it takes a lot of time, and then of course they're going to last for years to come. Now it's quite significant because in a carpet you're going to notice that there's always patterns, and these patterns are always significant for different reasons. Just to give you a few examples of the patterns, we of course have the border with the ivy. The ivy is to ward off evil, keep evil away. You look at the star, that is the Star of David. That's a religious sign for the Jewish symbol. And of course, the corner is just a geometric design, and a floral design can be anything like a carnation or other flowers of that nature. If you take a look around the room, you're going to see that some of the rugs that I put out that are the 100% cotton rugs here even have some Asiatic flowers that are on them. They're quite beautiful, quite significant. And this is just one of the carpets that I wanted to show you with a pattern known as the Tree of Life. Tree of Life is significant for all religions. Of course, it's where we supposedly come from, and it puts it together for you. And in the medallion here, you're going to note that the Tree of Life is available in this carpet. Looking at these are Hurricane rugs. These are the finest quality rugs that Turkey makes. These rugs often sell for thousands of dollars. And it just kind of depends. Dolce Malte, I've got some examples of Dolce Malte. This is a rug that has a very significant religious background in it. It is of natural dyes. It's very significant in the fact that there are 3 different religions on this, represented, I should say. As well as the Nigeri's Kar. This is another kind of Indian nomadic tribe that is presenting your carpets, again with natural dyes, natural colors, and the Yahali. This is the Yahali. I have 2 examples that I'm going to start with in my presentation, 100% wool. Before I get going, of course, I talked about this in my previous presentation, but I did want to show you that even in 1989, where to put your money. An investor's guide was put together here by Fortune magazine, and they talk about some of the best ways to invest your money. Of course, this 1954 Cadillac sold for about $5,750 at the time. In mint condition, this particular copy, or this particular vehicle, I should say, is now worth, in 1989, according to this investor's guide, over $75,000. When it's taken care of, it's quite a value. This work of art is the rebumption of Adam and Eve, and now is in a private collection worth about $3.4 million. And of course, how many of you have even heard of Petrus? Has anybody ever heard of Petrus? Well, Petrus is an excellent Chateau wine. This bottle, Chateau's in 1973. This case sold for $5,000 in wine. Now, if you bought the 1963 bottle, it sold for over $15,000 a case. So significant investments can be used. And of course, we wanted to show you that this 100-year-old carpet, this is a Turkish carpet that actually originally, I'm not quite sure what the original price was, but its value now is $12,000. A 100-year-old carpet. And I have had guests already come to me this cruise saying that their father or their grandparents gave them a carpet 50, maybe 80 years old. And I've talked to them about the maintenance and the care and how they can keep this investment quality. Carpets are a great investment with your money. They're also used as even dignitary presents. As you can see here in the White House, in the Vermeil room, they even put a Turkish carpet down as part of the Vermeil room. And you can also see that here is a gift. When Clinton was president of the United States, they traveled to Turkey during one of the issues that they were talking about with the Turkish leaders in the Middle East and stuff. And of course, a gift was given of a silk paraquet rug to President Clinton. So they're used all different types, and Turkey again is where I want to focus because I tried to create a nice Turkish atmosphere here for you to enjoy the carpets as we go through them. Many of you have been to Turkey. How many have actually been to Turkey here? So my front row has been to Turkey. Obviously, that's why they're here in the front row. Did you shop the Grand Bazaar? Of course they shop the Grand Bazaar. Well, shopping the Grand Bazaar is a great experience. But oftentimes I tell people that the Grand Bazaar is a great sightseeing experience unless you really know quality and you know authenticity. They'll tell you one thing sometimes and they'll be another. Here on board the Jewel, we're going to offer you a certificate of authenticity. And I want you to know that shopping in the Grand Bazaar is a lot of fun. Even going to Kuşadası in the downtown, this is what the downtown area looks like. This is a great way to go shopping. And of course, you can see that the stores there are abundant with their different carpets. And of course, in Kuşadası is our manufacturer and our distributor here, Matisse Lapis. Now moving on, you can see that even in Matisse, there are usually about 4,000 carpets to 6,000 carpets available. It's hard to go shopping for a carpet, which is now why you have me here on board as your carpet consultant. I'm here to help narrow down the information, try and get you to fall in love with your piece of carpet, handmade treasure, and take it back with you. And of course, again, just an example of the rooms that you see in Turkey. And even then, they will do a presentation similar to the one that I'm giving you as well. But really, one of the most important things that I wanted to show you is to fall in love with the carpet is not only to just see it and see the beauty of the carpet, it's actually to use it, feel it, touch it, and let your toes do the walking. Remember we used to say yellow pages, let your fingers do the walking. Well, today I'm going to say that during my presentation, if there's any carpet that you like, during the presentation, after the presentation, come on, feel it, touch it, walk on it, take a look at it, experience the carpet, because I truly want you to have a wonderful experience with the carpet shopping that you're allowed to do today, as well as some toe therapy and knowing that this carpet is something that you're going to truly love and treasure when you take home with you. Last but not least, let's stop it, and I wanted to play that. Let's see if we go back to that. Did we play it? Oh, we're going to go back to the beginning. Bear with me. Let's see if we go back. Now, well, my last slide was the flying carpet. And yes, the carpets fly right out of this ship. Let me tell you, they're flying out of there quicker than you can imagine. You know, if you buy one, I'll give you the word that gives you the magic word to fly away. With that said, we're going to stop here with the presentation, and we're going to move on. Now, I talked significantly about motifs, and you can see that there's even a religious motif behind many of these. Of course, this is Jesus, and on the side here we have Mary, we have Paul, and we even have the farm animals. Significant because it shows you exactly some of the hierarchy in life and in society, and even the simpleton of living on a farm. So there's a lot of reasons why and stories to tell about the carpets that come your way. Starting out though, again, when you talk about a carpet, there are several different materials that we use. There is silk, which is the most expensive. There is cotton, which, depending on if it's just cotton or mercerized cotton, is a little less expensive, and wool, which is oftentimes one of the easier, bigger materials to work with. And so, in the same essence, wool has fewer knots than cotton, which has fewer knots than silk in making these, meaning less material, but still the durability is there. Quality in a handmade carpet goes. And when they talk about a carpet here, this is where a small loom looks like. We're making a silk carpet here, and no, I'm not talented enough to make the carpets. I'm here just to help you as your carpet consultant. But I would say that you're looking at this carpet here, and you can understand that this is a silk wool. We make the warp silk, and now we're making the weft silk. If you hear about silk and silk, or wool and silk, that's what they're talking about. But the warp and the weft is when you're making your carpets. And it's quite significant because, again, knotting is what we do with handmade carpets. And I'm going to show you now the reason being. Take a look at these two carpets. These two carpets that I'm about to kick out first are carpets that are exactly identical. Why are they identical? Well, because they were machined. They're exactly the same length, the same color. They're chemical dyes. They are not natural dyes. They are exactly the same carpet when you take a look at it. Now, there's a little bit of shading difference here, but it's probably because of where we stored them and what we've done with them. But you can see that it is quite similar in size and shape. When you're talking handmade carpets, there are no two carpets that are alike. There may be a similar pattern, but when you're creating it, and for example, that's this carpet right here at the first floor at your feet. If you notice, this was a carpet that was done consecutively on the loop. This carpet is a carpet that's a wool carpet. It is from someone's dowry. This is going to be part of the young lady's dowry. It's a medallion carpet, very significant, nice quality wool. You can tell that it's wool by its durability here. But going back to the handmade carpets, or the machine carpets, when you take a look here, and I have an associate here holding up the sign. He's holding up my sign showing you that the carpets here, that's all right. The carpets here, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about carpets and knotting. They're taking the warp and they're pulling it together and then knotting it with a weft. They're pulling it through and then they're cutting off the pile. When they're machined,